The story unfolds with the Princess Asylum of Vers, a kingdom in Mars, talking about how much she admires Earth to her trusted friend Slain. Apparently, Earth and Mars haven't been in good terms for a very long time, and the people of Vers have always hated the people of Earth because they always felt they were inferior to them, but enjoyed a lot of benefits on their planet that they do not deserve. Princess Asylum prepares to serve as a peace ambassador for her country, as she intends to travel down to Earth in a bid to foster peace between the two countries. She tells Slain about how much she admires the origin of all mankind. Meanwhile, on Earth, a young boy, Ineo, and his sister Yuki are seen. The people of Earth happen to be training their children to do combats with large robots called cataphracts. Lieutenants Yuki and Marito are tasked with the responsibility. The children are trained with the purpose of being able to defend the company from the Vers attacks. The princess eventually leaves to Earth, and on the day of her welcome parade to the planet, her convoy was blown up and she was presumed dead. This angers the counts of Vers, and they declare war on Earth, sending in Martian cataphracts. As a strategy for war, the people of Vers blow up the satellite and all major cables meant for communication. The people of Earth, however, deploy their cataphracts to do battle against the Martian cataphracts, but they are nothing compared to the supreme abilities of the Martian cataphracts. In the meantime, chaos ensues on Earth, and everybody tries to evacuate the city where the princess was murdered. Yuki tells her brother, Ineo, to get to the location where everyone intends to leave from. On his way, he meets two girls who happen to be the princess and her maid. Apparently, she was never a part of the parade because she wasn't feeling well when she arrived. Not knowing who they truly are, Ineo offers to help get them to safety. Meanwhile, we realize that the assassination plot on the princess wasn't done by the people of Earth, but by the counts of Vers. They had sent in spies to complete the assassination in a bid to have a justification for war against Earth. Unfortunately, they were all killed by the count who had given them the job before they could claim their reward. This is to leave no loose ends. However, Rayet, the daughter of the leader of the spies, was saved by Yuki and taken to their school for safety. Ineo and his friends decide to fight against the Martian cataphracts with the cataphracts they use for training in school. Earlier on, Yuki had passed out from the battle, and when she wakes up, is told about her brother's intentions. She convinces him to change his mind. He, however, is determined to fight against the enemy, and they come up with strategies to fight against the cataphracts that had chased them earlier. While they make plans, Princess Asylum, who is not in disguise, and Rayet offer to help. They are assigned to drive the truck that would be used to lure the cataphract. Ineo realizes that the cataphracts do not have eyes and only see through a use of external drones which hover around. They target all the drones and take them out, rendering the Martian cataphracts blind. In the midst of the fight, when it seemed like the Martian cataphract would claim victory, Princess Asylum reveals herself and commands the cataphract to stop. This was just to distract him, while the others shoot at him, thereby defeating him. In the midst of this, Slain sees and recognizes the princess. Initially, just Rayet was present at the transformation of the princess. She then reveals her true self to Ineo and urges them not to tell anyone. However, Rayet is convinced that all Martians are bad people, looking at what they did to her father. Ineo and his crew are attacked by another Martian cataphract, and this one seems to be stronger than the last one. It wipes out the battle-ready cataphracts put in place to protect the base and advances towards the safe place. Ineo moves to defend the people, using his orange training cataphract. Though unable to completely defeat the Martian cataphract, he finishes it off with the help of a missile shot from a naval battleship that has come to save them. Meanwhile, seeing that the princess is alive, Slain tries to figure out the true cause of the conspiracy to murder her. The captain of the naval army commends Ineo on his bravery and skill. At the same time, Princess Asylum's grandfather, who is the ruler of Vers, announces an armistice. This means that they will cease fire and are willing to discuss with peace in mind. The decision annoys the counts, who feel the emperor should even be more annoyed at the fact that his own flesh and blood was killed. They are determined to convince him otherwise. However, Slain discovers an audience chamber where he can have a direct audience with the king. He risks his life to go there and informs the king about the fact the princess is alive. Unknown to him, the counts have convinced the king otherwise and have already informed him of the plot by the people of Earth to halt the war with claims of the princess's survival. This angers the king more and makes him declare war fully on Earth. Now that war has been declared, the captain moves to drag draft the students officially into the army. On the other hand, Lieutenant Marito is still bothered about the death of his friend Hummery, and this thought haunts him, making him resort to drinking. He is, however, told by the captain that she is the junior sister of his friend, and this further gets him thinking. The base is attacked by another Martian cataphract, and this time it shoots out its hands like a missile. Ineo realizes that the bullets cannot harm the cataphracts, and it seems like they are doomed when one of the missiles is directed straight at the base. When it looks like all hope is lost, Slane comes to their rescue and takes out the missile. Even though they realize that Slane's aircraft is a Martian aircraft, Ineo and his crew help him. When the missiles are fired at him, they shoot at the missiles, taking them off course. Ineo realizes that the missiles do have a weakness. They have no shields under them. He pairs with Slane's aircraft for flight and targets the missiles for their unshielded parts, thereby taking them out one after another. In the heat of the battle, they discover another dock and move the people there for safety. Getting there, they further discover an abandoned Martian battleship. However, they cannot power it since they have no Aldonoah. Aldonoah happens to be a source of energy that is unique to the Verz people and is only possessed by the descendants of the Emperor of Verz. Realizing that they would be doomed without her help, the princess reveals her true identity and offers to power the ship. With this, they destroy the enemy cataphract. Earlier on, after defeating the Martian cataphract, Ineo destroys the aircraft of Slane because he feels Slane is an enemy. Unfortunately, Slane is captured by Count Cruteo and tortured for defying orders and escaping. He insists on not revealing that the princess is alive because he doesn't know who to trust. While Count Cruteo interrogates him, he eventually finds out Slane's motive for doing all he did, and this impresses him. Now knowing that the plot of the other counts and realizing that the princess is alive, Count Cruteo orders that the United Earth headquarters be contacted and the war be halted. Unfortunately, his orders never got out. Immediately, a large cataphract attacks his base, destroying it and killing him. Apparently, the cataphract is controlled by Count Sazbaum. He does this to retrieve Slane and shut Count Cruteo's mouth. Count Sazbaum brings Slane to his castle and takes care of his injuries. When Slane wakes up, he is told by Count Sazbaum that he is indebted to Slane's father who had saved his life in the past. He then reveals that he was the rebel who had plotted the death of the princess. Shocking, right? Yuki feels her brother has fallen in love with the princess. This is due to what she called recent changes in his behavior that she has been noticing, though she feels bad that he didn't tell her about the princess's identity when he had found out earlier. Due to his PTSD, Lieutenant Marito is made to go through the experience that has haunted him. He remembers how he had been forced to kill his friend, who was being engulfed by fire, to save him from the pain of burning. He is shocked once more by this as it continues to haunt him. Rayet still thinks that all Martians are evil and wonders how the princess easily revealed herself and got welcomed by the people of Earth. Her hatred for Martians grows further as she is made to believe that the Martians are only good at deceiving people. She attacks the princess while she is bathing and strangles her with a chain. This causes the Martian battleship to lose power and forcefully land. The fact that the ship lost power could only mean one thing: the princess had died, since she was the source of the power of the ship. This thought causes panic as they run to the bathroom where the princess was last seen. Getting there, they see her lying on the floor and passed out. She eventually wakes up after being offered CPR by Ineo. On waking up, she reveals that she was attacked by Rayet. While she is still talking, Rayet walks in with a gun and narrates how angry she feels at the Martian and why they should be hostile towards the princess. However, she couldn't bring herself to hurt the princess after the princess apologizes to her and asks for forgiveness on behalf of the Martians that have hurt her by killing her father. Meanwhile, Count Sazbaum narrates his plan to Slane, explaining how he felt angry at the royal family and how they have neglected the people. He also reveals that he wants to expand his colony into the Earth so that his people can enjoy the resources which the people of Earth enjoy. This bothers Slane. Ineo and his crew have finally gotten to their destination, which is the United Earth headquarters. Getting there, the princess is able to communicate to the people of Verz and beg them to stop the war against the Earth people. However, it is already too late, since Count Sazbaum has taken over and is hell-bent on seeing through with the war. The princess's speech reveals her current location to Count Sazbaum, and he moves to end her life himself. Slane is conflicted about his decision and is offered a chance to join his cause or flee to Earth. He chooses forces to flee. Count Seisbaum renders an open declaration of war on Earth with the aim of assassinating the princess. He deploys his full force, and this leads Aneo and crew to gear up and protect the princess at all costs. The cataphracts on Earth continue to be no match for the Martian cataphracts. The war leads to great damage on both ends, but more on the people of Earth. The princess is made to ride with Aneo's sister, Yuki. This is so that she can be protected. In the heat of the battle, the people of Earth seem to be losing massively. The princess deliberates on her next line of action and decides on the last resort. She finds her way to the source of Aldonoah, and with her power, as the descendant of the royal lineage of Vers, she puts it off. This makes all Martian cataphracts lose power, rendering all Martian technology useless. After this, she seeks for Aneo and runs to him. Unfortunately, she is severely injured and is almost dead. While she tends to him, Count Seisbaum shoots her from behind, killing her. This angers Slane, who shoots Count Seisbaum multiple times. Aneo regains consciousness and goes to meet the princess. Realizing that she is dead, he reminisces about the time they have spent together. However, these memories are short-lived as Slane shoots him from behind. For more recaps like this, click the next video. You wouldn't want to miss out on this story.